Like songs, you guys, it's me, Shaggy, coming to you live with another episode of Shaggy Rogers Book Reviews. Today, we are getting into a mainstay in this channel. We are continuing in a series of comics that I have loved for many years. John Constantine, Hellblazer, The Devil You Know. Let's get into it, guys. So, with demon blood coursing through his veins, John is now dead set on finally defeating his most notorious nemesis, the demon Nergal. After foiling both his plans and the plans of a doomsday cult to bring about the next apocalypse, he sets his sights on finally shutting him down. And we as the reader, we finally get to understand why John is the way he is. We get a flashback story into that tragic day in Newcastle. Jamie Delano and David Lloyd bring the absolute heat in this tale of cat and mouse as we see John is slowly dying from that transfused demon blood from Nergal back in Original Sins. After helping Swamp Thing conceive a child with his paramour, Abby Arcane, John is told from Swamp Thing and Nergal, essentially, remember Newcastle. And it is there we finally get that flashback story. We finally get that origin story, if you will, as we see the absolute tragedy that befalls not only John, but his crew and Astra. And it helped shape the man from a budding warlock into the cynical, wisecracking spellslinger that we all know and well know. After trapping Nergal at the gates of heaven and having heaven's angels basically wipe him off the face of the map, we see the story in this book turn a bit wacky as John then becomes a part of Arthurian legend. He's an old king, basically in his castle's tower, talking to the head of Merlin. I got nothing. And after that, we see another story where John is here in America tracking down a vengeful spirit of an African war orphan who was brought over but sadly passed away, but her spirit never left. And in fact, it's been killing off a lot of people. So John sets out to stop her. This storyline deals with a myriad of issues, including complex post-traumatic stress disorder, survivor's guilt, and the mental health system of Britain back in the late 70s and the early 80s. All that being said, I do have one con. And it is the blatant environmental hysteria around nuclear power plants back in the day. There's a small story wedged in between the Newcastle story and the Arthurian legend where, I'll be honest, it looks like a badass trip. The art's beautiful, but it's just a badass trip and even more blatant environmental hysteria. And I say this as somebody who loves Jamie Delano and his work on Hellblazer. I mean, I am currently reading through Fear Machine right now. I'm almost done with his entire run I gotta say, he's got a lot of pros, but he's definitely got some cons, and it's just the environmental hysteria. I mean, I get it. Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, got it. But at the same time, come on, man. Like, it's funny books. I don't want to get preached at. If I want to get preached at, I'll go to church or temple. Come on. But that has been John Constantine, Hellblazer, the devil you know. I'm Shaggy, and I'm telling you, the reading is fun to mental. You guys stay safe. I'll catch you on the next one.